wash the ground. The smoke will be my proof. You thought you stole my fire, my soul. What you don't understand is that I pressure bills, but I'm here still, like diamonds in the sand. I glow like fireflies in the dark, and I know it even when life is hard. I'm shining like a supernova with my head's up high, my heart wide open. So turn off the lights, I shine even more bright. Like a diamond, that beat right off my shoulder. I told you, now I'm about to show you. So turn off the lights, I shine even more bright. Like a diamond in the night. So turn off the lights, shine even more bright. Like a diamond. Eyes on me, 'cause I believe I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Young and free, powerful, open doors that are meant for me. And are made for me. I glow like fireflies in the dark, and I know it even when life is hard. I'm shining like a supernova with my head's up high, my heart wide open. So turn off the lights, I shine even more bright. Like a diamond, that beat right off my shoulder. I told you, now I'm about to show you. So turn off the lights, I shine even more bright. Like a diamond in the night. So turn off the lights, shine even more bright. Like a diamond in the night. So turn off the lights, shine even more bright. Like a diamond.
Okay, that's the second song off of Angelina's new EP, Old Enough, and that's called Diamond. And uh, it's almost like I gotta look at the camera and say, I don't know what to say. But you know it's not true because you know I like to talk. So let me do my best, okay? Um, yeah, there again, Angelina different from the first one, and hang on, different from the first one. That was all my fault. I want to make sure I say the names right, okay? Because I have some in the past I've had some issue with that I'm hoping to correct at some point in time. But anyway, different than the first one. I'm assuming it'll be different than the rest. We've already seen a couple of the other ones at least. Love Don't Let Me Go. Of course, we've seen the whole thing, and the other one. Now I'm the Fool. I keep forgetting the name of that one. Probably because it relates so much. So, uh, and they're both different from each other and from these two, right? So Angelina has provided us with a smorgasbord of different things, a whole buffet, right? And this one is this. It's just completely, totally unique, and it's Angelina. It is Angelina. She has delivered to us what she said she would, and that is, her passion is music. She loves to sing, she loves to perform, and I'm sure probably in the not too distant future we're going to be getting music videos and so on, as you know the, the songs become a little bit more widely known, and you know so far 2 for 2, both to me are standalone single masterpieces. In the past when I was a kid growing up, you had the music medium for the most part was you either listened to it on your radio or you bought a record, and there was two different kinds of records that were the most commonly used at the time I was growing up. It was a 12-inch LP, long play, and a 45, a little 45 And if you had a record player, they ran on different speeds. I think the LPs were 33 and a third, I think, and the small ones were 45. They called them 45s because that's the speed they ran on. And that means the turntable turned faster for the smaller ones. And you had to have the little inserts. Okay, Steve, quit talking about records. We're talking about Angelina. Okay, stay focused. Stay focused. So, uh, so, so you know, uh, you didn't have it. There was no cell phones. There was none. Okay, and there really wasn't a lot. There was no iPads or computers. None. There was none of that stuff, right? So that was your choice. You heard it on the radio. Then you went to the record store and you bought it if you liked it, right? And you could usually buy either an album or a small one. And then usually the small ones. Some artists put out just singles. That's what they used to call that. And then the album, of course, was full of songs, and there was a front and a back, so that there might be 6, 7 songs on a side. Sometimes I would think maybe even more. Depends on the length of the songs, as always. And so they'd call it the A side and the B side. I think is what they used to refer to that as. And typically, you'd have one or two really good songs on an album. Sometimes only one that prompted you to buy it. Then you listed the rest of them, and you listen to it once, and then you just wear out the one spot where you like that one song, and uh, the rest of them were who cares, right? So it's like there was a the Iron Butterfly did put out an album, Inagata Devita. It was an instrumental. There was a few words in the middle. I think the words were Inagata Devita Baby. I think that's what they repeated. And there was a few other words in there, I think. But it was mostly an instrumental, and it was really a good one, too. And the whole one side of an album was that song, right? I don't know what was on the other side. Sorry, Iron Maiden. I think I played it like once, and it was like, yeah, who cares? And then get back to the other one. And it had a big drum solo in it and all that. Just an old. Most of you probably never even heard of the thing. But back in the day, it was in my generation. It was we'll call it somewhat popular amongst those that like quirky things like me. So uh, the point of my message is this: that Angelina, so far, 6 songs, two, both hits. Both to me are standalone masterpieces, and I'm just because I'm so biased with Angelina. I'm assuming all 6 are going to be standalone masterpieces for one reason or another. If for nothing else, they're different from each other. They're unique. They don't sound alike. You can hear that it's Angelina, of course. Her voice is there, and that's totally unique, and we all know that. But she puts all her magic that she's accumulated throughout her young life, and she's uh, using it in different ways and sprinkling it in all these songs, right? And this one starts off actually kind of from the first one. This one starts off a little bit. I think the sound is actually a little muted in some way or something, and but then it builds power as we go along. So it starts off soft, a little bit muted. Then it's like going on a roller coaster where you're going up that big hill, right? And then you end up going down the other side, down the other side. So Angelina, she sets it up beautifully. The the lyrics are there. Her thoughtfulness and her depth in her lyrics is just amazing. Always has been. Going back to what is life? It was so simple, but yet so profound. The lyrics that she wrote. Same thing here. If you think about it, it's like, yeah, wow. I was talking with, I met with a very fine gentleman the other day. His name was John, and we had a lot of conversation. And we talked about all kinds of stuff. I'd never met him before. And uh, actually, he's one of my YouTube people that comment from time to time. And he was going to be in the area where I live, and of course, I've mentioned on a lot of videos all this stuff. And he had contacted me and wondered if he could take me to lunch, buy lunch. And we talked for a few hours, and it was great. I love meeting new people, and John's a nice guy. So, where was I going with that story? I don't even know. Hi, John. I had I had a point to the story. I think it's something that John said. John said a lot of things that were very um, thought provoking, and I think that's where I was going with this. Is sometimes it's just you don't. Oh, I know what it is. we don't always think. We go through our daily lives and we just do what we need to do to get through our daily lives, right? Go to work, take care of the family, get the groceries, whatever it might be, right? And then we deal with issues and problems all the time. We're always thinking about that kind of stuff. And then and if everything's good, then you think about what you're going to do this weekend, if the weather's going to be nice, blah, blah, blah. Like for me, I got to get to the marina here in a few minutes. We're probably going to have, I'm going to guess, we're going to have one of our busiest days ever because it's supposed to be a beautiful day. And the weather up here for the last month has been terrible for small boaters. It's been either cold, rainy, cloudy, all the above. Pop-up thunderstorm. Yesterday we had a pop-up thunderstorm. It only lasted a couple minutes. And, but it keeps people away from making plans to go out on the water. Who wants to be out in the water during a thunderstorm, right? So, because it's a small landlocked lake that we're on. It's not real big. So it's mostly small boaters. We don't have a lot of, there are some big boats out there, but they're not yachts and things like that. We don't have that there on this lake. So, so we go through our daily lives and we just do what we got to do, right? Basically, what else would you do? But sometimes we don't stop and think about things, me included. That what woke me up was actually Angelina when first song I saw was "I Put a Spell on You." Right? I started to go back and think about everything, my life. Do I believe in God? Do I believe in reincarnation? Do I what are my beliefs? And I've always felt that I have some, but I don't sit around thinking about them and trying to define them. I don't know if that's really necessary to do that. But if you're a curious person or one who likes to give a little thought to things, then yeah, you probably should once in a while, right? And oh boy, here we go with the dog barkarama. So, somebody's Elroy's out barking at something. Venus is hotter than his tail. So, uh, and I want to thank Angelina for doing that for me. And then John and I were talking at the lunch the other day, and it really is that simple, that we don't really think about this kind of stuff. So what does Angelina do with her lyrics? She goes a layer or two deeper than most lyrics go, and forces you to give it a little thought. Right? That is genius to me. It's not just the surface thing. I love you. I love you. I love you. Almost every song has love in it or relationships in it. Okay, almost every song, not every song, but almost every song. And why not? Because love is the most important thing that there is, really. Anyway, really, right? So, um, and she forces us down or in a level that we wouldn't normally be going into, and then you think about it, right? So if you listen to the lyrics, it adds another whole nother layer to her uniqueness, her genuineness, and her depth of knowledge, her genius, if you will. So anyway, I'll quit rambling on. You know how I am. I'm biased. I'm gonna be biased. I hope you'll never hear a negative word slip out of my mouth about Angelina because I don't believe there is one that I could say that would be genuine. So that's because I don't feel that way about her. She did it. It's right. Okay. Case closed. You can argue this, that, and the other thing. I don't really care because, um, you know, me, I'm me, you're you. Okay. And we both can have our independent thoughts and express them if we may. And that's it. So hope you guys liked the video. Hope you like my reaction, and we'll see you on the next one. We got 4 more to go. Okay, and I got to get this up and running, and I got to get back. I got to get to work. Hopefully, I'll be not too late today. If I'm not late, they'll all be shocked. Okay, I'm always a little bit late. Not always, but most often. And so if I quit talking and get this running, then we'll be in good shape. You guys have a nice day. Enjoy your day. I'm going to go out and work all day long at the marina and out in the beautiful nature. And I'm going to be working with people, which I love to do. So let's get to it. And we'll see you on the next one. Okay, guys? I hope you enjoyed the song. I didn't get into a lot of detail on it. I'm not a musical guy. So I'm a carpenter. I'm currently a boat mover arounder guy. Okay? So I don't know how to even put into words what this song, the musical stuff that she does. It's full of stuff. When you listen to it, it's so that's one of the things that makes her so unique. So many songs are just the start, the chorus, another verse, the chorus, and then an end. Right? That's kind of the standard format. Angelina mixes it all up, and there's always surprises in there, always, and that's what I love about her. She's unique. So let's end it here, and we'll talk to you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.